Hello, beautiful people. CanvasKiller here, and this is this week's episode of CanvasKiller Critiques. And today we're going to talk about not only really favorite of mine as far as artists, but one of my favorite people. Um, she's a very dope person. Feel me? I really enjoy 11. You know what I'm saying? If you ever met 11, she's uh, she's a big baller special. You feel? All right, word. So, I was going through 11's page. I came across this piece that we're about to talk about today, and one of the first words that came to mind. I'm not gonna hold you. It was disturbed, right? Though because I'm such like I love art. You know what I'm saying? And like I definitely didn't want that to be the only thing that I took away from me viewing the painting and really sitting with it. And so I sat with it, yo. I sat with it and I looked through it and then I read, some of the context that she included in the piece, which I highly advise you go to her Instagram, which I've put in the video, and check out, sharing some of her inner thoughts and cognition in the process of creating this painting. And, it, yeah, it gave some dope context. So I'm gonna show you all what it is that I viewed and walk you through some of my thoughts while I was viewing it. And yeah, we're gonna look at a painting that didn't necessarily have a title though in her description, which I really enjoyed. It was really, really well written and poetic. You know what I'm saying? And she had three words stacked before she went into a very, thorough it's kind of like pouring of ideas that said owl, like the animal owl, owlet, and that. You know what I'm saying? So boom, that's why I put outlet here. And she, was essentially sharing. So she was using her art as an outlet. So introducing outlet by 11. Boom, minimize myself. All right, so boom, off rip. I wonder if y'all can tell what disturbed me when I first saw this painting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know about you, though. This right here, that weirded me out. Because it reminded me of how like a mosquito or like any bug. I think like butterflies have it. You know what I'm saying? Where they like shoot some contraption out their face and it sucks nectar out of stuff, right? And to see a monkey, which is a fairly large, well, much larger than an insect, right? So I'm thinking about those little like sucky things on like a little, size of a piece of thread. But now you have this monkey that they got one of these face sucky things, and I'm like, wow, that is going to haunt me for a little bit. So that's initially what honestly drew me into the painting, which I can certainly appreciate after I took some time to actually scan it and to really see it in its entirety. So yeah, I'm going to discuss some of my favorite parts about this painting. So one thing that I do enjoy is the different use of the lines that are in the background that seem to isolate certain sections of the painting from the others, right? So, on the right hand side, right next to my favorite character here, this monkey person, there is what's reading to me as a web, right? Which she mentioned in her description, which I still highly advise you check out. And then it also reminds me of um what would it be called? Like if you're like graphing large um like land masses, right? And so just like kind of stretching globally, that's what that is reminding me of. And so, you have nature on this side and this animal. You have reference to a web or some sort of global graph. And then on this side, these lines that are along the left side of the painting are really reminding me of like looking at the side of a home that has like, paneling, like side paneling. So this is reminding me of either paneling or blinds, like window blinds. You know what I'm saying? So this side of the painting is giving me more of a feeling of home and being out, inside, as opposed to the right side of the painting. That was not supposed to happen. That's giving me the vibe of being outside, right? So that's definitely something that I realized. And then that notion was a bit further supported by, the figure that's on the left side of the painting. So this figure is seemingly resting, and there may be room to suggest that this person is also restless by these, double and triple lines that are outside of the eyes as to suggest movement, as we're seeing this repetition, or that this person is um, essentially having to steal moments of rest, right? Even if it's not real sleep, right? That's being sought here, but moments of rest, moments of leisure, and moments of relief. And, it's really cool that this person is really, at least, just from my view, like representing sensuality and being not fully dressed, laying down, uh, seemingly comfortable and protected in the comfort of the what I'm gonna say is woman, because there's breasts, you know what I'm saying? There's also mustache and beard, you know what I'm saying? So like these non-gender conforming figures that are in the painting. And what I do appreciate too about the non-gender conforming figure that is in the center with the multiple arms is that immediately seeing multiple arms will certainly lead me, at least, to thinking about religion, thinking about different cultures and different religious groups who depict their god and or goddess with having multiple arms. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying that this depiction of a god is non-gender conforming and also doing work with these many hands. One of them seems to be almost very easily subduing this monkey with just one finger on top of its head, as almost to, subdue it to a pet and not a pest. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a hand from this figure on itself, you know what I'm saying, on its belly. And there's one, holding up a sign of peace. And then ultimately there's one that is shielding and or covering the figure to the far left, you know what I'm saying, as this figure, oh, light went out, let me adjust, as this figure is resting. So yeah, as I spent more time with this piece, I really began to see how much of a protective force and how much of a caring and courageous force that the figure in the center is. And yeah, and then it's, it's flanked with this background of seemingly a tree, that's sprouting in the midst of this inside versus outside landscape that we're looking at, that has an owl that is almost implanted into the center of the tree. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate that, that there are even birds. I'm assuming this is another owl and, another type of bird that are on the left side of the painting. Though this one, for whatever reason, is either inside of like a hole that's made in the front of this tree, or literally embedded, into that tree. So that's also just like a really cool aspect of it, because it's sitting very much isolated from the other parts of the painting, though still including a lot of the similar color waves that go throughout the painting. Namely, the parts of the painting that are opposed, essentially being this protective God force that is in the center versus this disturbing mix of animal. And so I like that the colors of this blue and the orange and the yellow that are used in these two that oppose are all used within this one form of the owl in its oneness. So that's a very cool use, or repetition of a color scheme in order to show some opposing ideas. And yeah, yo, I'm glad that I definitely didn't allow my first response of seeing it, deter me from spending some time with this piece, and really discovering some things that you've laid out. And yes, yo, this painting does a very great job of creating depth, because there are so many different planes that are suggested on this flat surface all at once. And so it allows it allows you to think past the flat surface that you're seeing, and kind of look behind some figures or look behind some objects that are there, just all based on essentially where the floor is suggested to be, or what is suggested to be negative space, or be outside, or what's suggested to be indoors. And so for that reason alone, it definitely it helps you to move throughout the piece without feeling as though there is a determined route to take, which I really enjoy, because it allows you to find a lot of different pieces just based on either how detailed they're drawn, or what colors are in them that are really popping. I'm really enjoying the use of this yellow and this gold-ish color, and yeah, the reds that are used here also are very, very cool. Very cool. Awesome. So yeah, y'all, we have just discussed Outlet by the amazing 11. You know what I'm saying? If you know 11, you're very lucky. If you don't, you do now. At least a part of her that is art. And yeah, so go and check out her Instagram. She has a lot of amazing works, a lot of amazing works in progress that she allows you to step into her process, both creatively and then also just what it is that she may be thinking, and or um processing as she's sharing herself through hues and movement and the different elements and principles of art. So definitely go and check her out. Purchase some art, collect some art, yo. She has very distinct work, and does a lot of shedding in and of her work. So may definitely be great for others who are watching this, um, who may the word's going to come to me. So while it does, I'm going to take a sip of water. Boom. Okay. So her work may really help those of you who may be visual learners, and through seeing someone else's process of shedding layers and self-reflection may really help yourself. So please help yourself. Go visit her page, check her out, support her, buy some art. Yeah. So this has been another episode of Canvas Killer Critiques. I'm Canvas. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and have an amazing day. Go meet a new artist. Go buy some art.